Hello everybody, welcome to Sold! Exclamation point. We have just 4 items to show you that sold. We had a couple last minute items sell last night. And so we packaged up everything up until right before we went to the post office last night. So there won't be any videos on that stuff. I don't think anything amazing. A couple of cool items. So I'm going to show you these 4 that sold since last night, and then I'm going to go over my picked video and go through the accounting with everybody, and then I'll put the breakdown below the video so you can have it in text form. And I'm just going to give you how I would approach analyzing an individual pick. Not for everybody, but I wanted to maybe cover a way of looking at expenses so that you get the true return on investment that you're getting. And for some people, it won't matter to them, and I'll probably mention why it might not matter in the video if I remember. Do the best I can. And then other people who are maybe higher volume sellers, they might find it extremely helpful. So I'm going to get into the sold stuff, and then we'll talk accounting after that. All right, first up, we got a Lee Sport all embroidered Nebraska Huskers sweatshirt. This is a pretty common design by Lee Sport. You find it pretty frequently. The better version of it is right in the middle here. There's going to be a mesh rhombus diamond on its side. Those sell a little better. I don't know if they sell for more, but they sell quicker. I like them. I like them a lot. This is actually a really nice sweatshirt. The design is real well. It's really designed for comfort. It's not a 2 sheets of fabric sewn together. It's a lot of different pieces. These are really comfortable sweatshirts. Pick them up when you can. You want to be into them 5 or 6, maybe 7 if it's a really good team. This sold for $30. Next up is our sale of the day by far. This is an Adidas Minnesota Muskies jersey of Kevin Love. Now, we got $205 for it. We got that not because of Kevin Love, but because of Minnesota Muskies. They're incredibly rare jerseys. I wasn't sure if it was authentic, so I had an expert authenticate it. I'm not really good with Adidas jerseys, and I'm not real good with Mitchell and Ness, although I'm getting better at figuring out what the bootlegs look like. My goal is to not sell bootlegs, so whenever I can, I try to weed them out. But this one's a really great jersey. It's an authentic, it's a legitimate Adidas Minnesota Muskies. 205, really great condition. I don't know if anybody ever wore it, but really nice condition. Next up is a hockey jersey, and it's Lumberyard. It's a junior league hockey school. I was never in hockey, so I don't know all the terminologies, but it's a junior league, maybe a club league in Stillwater, Minnesota. And I think it's sold because, one, I think it's probably a dad who wanted to wear a jersey when they're watching their kid play. But 2, it's a cool logo. So maybe it's not a dad. Maybe someone's like, oh man, a sweet logo. I'm gonna buy it. 35 for that one. And the last one up is the Smoky Collection. Here's a Jim Thome Flare Ultra autograph. I'm not sure if you can see, but the signature is really streaky. But it's Jim Thome. So I put it at $4.99 and hoping that, a Thome fan would just want it, but it was real cheap for a Thome autograph. but you know, the autograph was just really rough on it, so I didn't think it was gonna sell if I put, you know, $14.99 on it. You know, maybe it would have, I don't know, but I think it's probably gonna go to a, you know, a diehard Thome collector who's real happy to have it, and we're happy to get it to you. So whoever it is, nice find. So let's get into yesterday's picked video. Now, I went out and I picked 36 items. We spent $113.24. Okay. Now, when I do the accounting, I use an inventory system known as specific identification. The reason why I do that is because I sell one-offs. There's not many businesses that would do that type of inventory system, because if they buy, you know, you're a grocery store and you're buying 1% milk and you're buying 30 gallons of this 1% milk from that one manufacturer, they're using LIFO or FIFO because the third gallon of milk isn't any different than the seventh gallon of milk, so they don't need to use that. The only other business I can think of that would use specific identification would be, well, pawn shop, but that's very similar to what we're doing, but maybe a car dealership, because even though every Ferrari is, in theory, the same, they all have different VIN numbers, so maybe, but I'm not real sure if anybody's in the car industry. I'd be real curious to see if specific identification is used for the inventory system. But because of that, I actually assigned exactly what I paid for each item. So I have a spreadsheet. I use the world's #1 accounting software, Microsoft Excel. I just created a bunch of ledgers, and I run my accounting through that. Little note, I am not a CPA. I don't even have an accounting degree. I have a degree in business, and I think I was going back to school for my accounting degree when surprise baby came along and I became a stay-at-home dad who went to thrift shops at night. So I'm about 4 classes away. So this is not, I'm not giving you professional advice. And we're doing managerial accounting, so it's not, managerial accounting is an art anyways. There's no hard and fast rule, although there's general rules, but there's no hard and fast rule. This is for internal documents in companies. They'll do certain analysis on different projects and try to figure out where they actually are. And that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to figure out, in this case, we're trying to figure out how much am I really making off of this after the first year. And that's all we're trying to do. And the goal is not to get it right to a penny, but to get it pretty right and figure out what's the real return on your investment. So we're gonna go down. I'm actually gonna write it down as I tell you. It's just gonna make it easier for me. But I'm gonna be looking up because I have the information up above. That's where I put all my sold prices, so that's why in my videos you'll see me look out. See, I realize I'm doing it. I'm not built for in front of the camera. Just gonna have to deal with it. All right, so my cost of goods sold on 36 items was $113.24. So now we gotta go, what are my direct costs? My direct costs for not only for the mileage to pick these items up, but the mileage to bring them to the post office. So the trip took, now this is a direct cost. I literally took this trip to get these items. It's not overhead where you're not sure, how much should I give to that exact item, and we'll go over that in a little bit. So this was 2 stores, 22 miles from my house, the first store, to the second store, back to my house. And at 58 cents a mile, we are looking at $12.76. Broken down by item, we're gonna assess it's 35.44 cents. We're just gonna call it 35 cents. Again, we're not trying to get it to the penny. That's not the point. The post office. Now, bringing it to the post office. I have a local post office, but I prefer to drive it to Minneapolis. I live in a city called Fridley, which is a first-ring suburb of Minneapolis. It's a longer trip. I think my local post office is maybe 8 miles round trip, and I'm doing 19 miles round trip instead, so almost 2.5. The reason why I do that is twofold. One, early on in my career, we only had the one car. So my wife would get home from work and I would take the car. And sometimes it was cutting it close to getting the stuff to the post office in time. And I realized that the downtown post office on 1st Street was open till 8 o'clock. After going there, for a while, they told me, well, just go to the courier drop-off. And that's when I really loved it, because the courier drop-off, I drive into the building, I dump all my stuff, and I drive out. I got to wait behind some semis, but I don't have to wait in line. And I don't get them scanned in, because that's not part of the deal. But I've had very few problems dropping stuff off at the courier drop-off. Now, the second reason why I do it is if you go to my eBay and you look at my feedback, and this is a good and bad thing, is the vast majority of my feedback is not, I love this item. It's not, this was the greatest price in the world. It's not, his customer service was amazing. Now, I get those, because I am all those things. But what I get was, I don't know how this thing got here so fast. And the reason why it gets there quicker is because I can drop off until 8 o'clock at night. And it will be in St. Paul, which is the hub, at 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning. And it will be on a plane to the next distribution hub that night. And so sometimes people order something from me at 6 o'clock at night, and sometimes it happens, especially if it's in Minneapolis, somebody from Minneapolis will order something at 6 o'clock at night, and they'll get it the next day, and they'll go, I don't even know how that happened, because I shouldn't even shipped it out yet. But I think I save a day on shipping, and for me it's a value add for my customers, so that's why I do it. Yeah, so I mean that's I'm not telling anybody that they should be doing that too, but if you're near a distribution hub for the post office, consider using the drop off even if it's a little further away than your local post office, and you might get better marks on shipping time. So, where am I? So, based on that, I have a 19-mile round trip. I average about 10 items a day, 10 items per trip to the post office. So, 36 items. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 19 miles times 36. Times 3.6, 36 divided by 10 would be 3.6 trips, assuming 100% sell-through rate. Times 3.6 is 68.4 miles. 68.4 miles, and that's going to be the equivalent of $39.68 when you apply the mileage write-off. That would be a marginal cost, because the mileage that I spent picking the items up, that's done. That's a fixed cost that's already occurred. This, because I'm not going to sell 10 items per day, 3 days in a row, and 6 items on the 4th day. That's not going to happen. I'm going to sell one item. So I'm trying to figure out what is that cost? And but that's a marginal cost, because if I don't sell an item, then I don't have to bring it to the post office. And so that's going to be a marginal cost that we're going to add every time we sell. And that marginal cost is 110.222. We're going to call it $1.10. Next is we got overhead. Now, how do you figure out overhead? There's a bunch of different ways of doing it. What I did, and this is not perfect, there's a bunch of shortfalls. I could have figured out the percentage of overhead based on how many items I picked up divided by how many items I have for sale. Well, I have 25,000 items. That being said, 13,000 items are from the Smoky collection. And the Smoky collection doesn't take up any space, really. It takes up a 2 by 4 by 3 foot space for 13,000 items, where, you know, I can get a couple hundred pieces of apparel, maybe 250 on a double rack behind me. So that doesn't make any sense. So doing real rough justice, what I did was I took my total eBay sales. Now I have other ways of selling, but again, we're just trying to get a reasonable number. My total eBay sales last year was $57,682.38. Or it's 082. I think it's 682. And I had 4,184 transactions. So not items, because I figured that was better anyways, because if I sold 25 Smoky collection cards, you know, were they really using up a bunch of space? Were they using up a bunch of internet? Were they, it's one big driver is going to be the eBay store, $300 a month. Well, the Smoky collection is 13,000 cards, but I got it in under 100 listings. I'm going to have to do one listing per item here. So, making those, considering those items, I decided I'm just going to take total eBay sales. I'm going to divide it by the number of transactions, and that's going to get the portion of the portion of overhead per item, even though it's transaction. So that was 57,682.38 divided by 41.84, and I get 0.86. So the 0.86 is representing how much of my total yearly activity, total cost for overhead, is represented by this one pick of 36 items. Or I'm sorry, by oh, no, I made a mistake. So okay, so I made a mistake here. 6.8 is $53. So this is what you got to do. You got to make sure that your theory is correct. So I'm trying to figure out if I did this right. So I'm going to bring up my calculator. And so if I took 57,682.38 divided by 41.84, what did I do? I had this all written out, and now it's not working. But I want to make sure I give you the right information. So, 48. Oh, I know. I wrote this down wrong. That's what I did. So 36 divided by 4184. Okay. All right. So I was going, well, this doesn't even make any sense. Okay, so the amount that I sold it for has nothing to do with the transaction. I sold 4,184 items, so I'm going to do 36 divided by 4,184, and that's the portion of overhead assigned to those 36 items. So then I get $53.90. So what I'm going to take now, I skipped ahead. So I went into last year's books and I looked at my expense portion of my balance of my income statement. I took out all direct costs. Direct cost would be eBay fee, PayPal fee, postage fee. I even account for the supplies, the poly bags or the boxes. I calculate that in my per item spreadsheet or transaction spreadsheet. And so when I make a sale, I'll demonstrate, I'll show what those costs were, and then what's left over will be the gross profit for that item. So after I took out all those direct costs, I had $6,266.64. This would be fixtures, marketing, eBay store. So that would be your listing fees. This would be phone, internet, anything that I wrote off that I can't attribute to any one specific item. So then what you do is you take your $6,266.64, that's my overhead cost, and I'm going to multiply it by the percentage of the 36 items responsibility for the overhead, and I get $53.90. $53.90. And because that is, again, that is also based on per item, that's a marginal cost. I'll put that down as I sell, not as a fixed cost. So that would be $1.50. So when I sell something, I'm going to add in a $1.10 mileage to go to the post office, and then $1.50 for general overhead cost. Now that shows you how expensive going to the Minneapolis post office is. If I double my sales, I will reduce that cost in half. And so as I sell more and more, the cost of that trip to Minneapolis gets less and less. Okay, so we are at that. So we got our 35 cents should be added to the cost of goods sold, or the cost of each item is 35 cents. And then on a marginal basis, we're going to add $1.10 for the mileage to the post office and $1.50 for general overhead. So that's what we're going to do. I'll write it all down. I know I got a little goofy in the middle there where I couldn't figure out what I wrote. And again, it's hard to see it in your head when someone's just talking about it. So I'm going to write it all down for you guys. And then whenever I sell an item, I will put out all the direct costs, and I'll apply the overhead, and we'll just keep a running tally on that pick and see if it helps anybody. Yeah. I've never done it this way. I've always, whenever I've looked at an individual pick, I've always done the gross profit, and then I knew there would be a certain amount of overhead attached to it, and I would do a little rough justice, but I've never done it to this amount of detail before, and this is overkill. But the goal isn't to show you, every time you make a pick, you should be breaking down these numbers, but to show you, hey, maybe I'm not making as much money as I thought I was, and that might make you decide to pick up different items. It might make you combine your thrifting trips more. where you're making more of a, you're not spending so much on mileage because you're making a big loop instead of hitting one store on Monday, hitting another store on Tuesday. Maybe it won't help at all. And it's a complete waste of time. I hope it's not the last one. So thanks for watching, and keep an eye out at the end of my sold videos. I will mention if one of them is from this pick, and I will put down the running tally from yesterday's pick. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.